Hey guys, this is Arif Merani from MMAsmack.com. This is actually my first video blog entry. I'm going to talk about a fight that's getting a lot of hype right now, despite the fact you're not going to see it till towards the end of the year. That's Jon Jones versus Rashad Evans. Jon Jones recently just won the light heavyweight championship at 205 pounds, defeating Mauricio Shogun Rua by third round TKO. It really impressed me that fight. Decisively won on the ground in the clinch and standing up, so he's definitely the real deal. The reason this fight's getting a lot of hype right now is on the topic of fighting a teammate. Seeing as for the past some odd 2 years, Rashad Evans and Jon Jones have been training together out at Albuquerque, New Mexico, at Greg Jackson's camp. Now, a lot of fighters have stated their opinion on the subject. Recently, Nick Diaz went on a limb and said Jon Jones and Rashad Evans were never really teammates because you should never fight your teammate. He's training over there at Cesar Gracie Academy with guys like Nate Diaz's brother, Gilbert Melendez, and Jake Shields. When Josh Koscheck was fighting George St. Pierre for the title, his former welterweight training partner at the American Kickboxing Academy, John Fitch, went out on a limb and said, if Koscheck wins the title, I'm going to move up 15 pounds and try my hand in the middleweight division, seeing as he was next in line for the title shot. So it's interesting to see how different fighters deal with the subject. Now, to the fight, both these guys have strong Division One college wrestling backgrounds. Both guys like to be on top. Both guys like to take their opponent down, and I feel like that's whoever gets on top is gonna win the fight. I feel like Rashad Evans is gonna be looking to clinch up as much as possible. He's done a good job in neutralizing two of the most powerful strikers in the division, in Thiago Silva and Rampage Jackson. He's also done a good job of out wrestling and staying on top and avoided getting submitted by Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts like Forrest Griffin and Thiago Silva, as well as the black belt. So Rashad Evans definitely has the skill level to take out a guy like Jon Jones. I'd give the stand-up advantage to Jon Jones simply on that 84.5-inch reach. He could pick guys off in the heavyweight division with those long arms. So I feel like Rashad Evans is definitely going to need to do a good job of neutralizing that reach. He's got good power in his hands. He's knocked out Chuck Liddell. He's got underrated boxing. He almost knocked out Rampage in the first minute of that fight. He landed a big right hand. Couldn't finish, but he still fought really well that fight. He even got almost knocked out. He showed off that chin in the third round. He got knocked down, and by the end of that round, he was on top, punching him in the face. So definitely a little bit underrated. I think Rashad Evans is. I'm a little bit biased. For those of you that know me, Rashad Evans is probably my favorite fighter. So I might be a little bit biased on that, but it hurts me a little bit to say this, but Jon Jones probably wins this fight more days a week than Rashad Evans. But Rashad Evans definitely has a good chance, especially based on the fact that these guys have been training for so long. All these spinning back elbows and crazy strikes with Jon Jones is throwing, none of this is new to Rashad. He's seen this. They've rolled together. They've sparred together. In fact, Rashad's probably taught Jon Jones a lot of the stuff he knows now in the MMA wrestling. Because he's been around longer. They've both fought in the same division, and up until now, Rashad Evans has been a more successful fighter. So Jon Jones has definitely been looking up to Rashad Evans, and it's almost a case of student versus teacher. Maybe not so much student versus teacher, as Greg Jackson is a real teacher. You got to give him his props. So it'll be an interesting fight. Like I said, Rashad Evans, I think, is going to look for that clinch. He's going to look to drag him to the ground, test his cardio, and keep him on top, and stay on top for hopefully the whole fight. And I don't think he's going to look to stand in exchange with him too much. Maybe use a few feints, and he uses boxing to set up a takedown, take out the clinch. One thing Jon Jones impresses me probably more than his striking even is his throws from the clinch. He's got very impressive throws, and when he puts you on the ground, he stays there. He's got good submission game. Submitted a great wrestler in Ryan Bader, which really impressed me. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to try to keep the fight standing against such a strong wrestler, but he took him down and beat him at his own game. Really impressive. Jon Jones is definitely the real deal. I feel like he's being a little bit pedestalized right now. He's only fought 8 times in the UFC. He just won the belt, hasn't even defended it yet. And probably the most competitive division in the light heavyweight division. Every month there's a new guy in title contention. So next one will probably be Phil Davis after his recent win against Nogueira. This fight will probably turn into more of a wrestling match. Some fans don't like that too much, but you got to understand it's mixed martial arts, and there's different layers to that, and you need to be well versed in everything. You can't just be a striker. Just like in the last fight, Dan Hardy versus Anthony Johnson. These two guys, great strikers, would have put on a great fight if they just stood there, but Anthony Johnson fought smart and it took the fight to a strong point and out wrestled him for 3 rounds. And that's what you got to do. You got to win fights. It's not about, as much as it's about the fans and the crowd, it's about winning fights, and you got to do what you got to do. So you definitely got to understand that if this turns into a wrestling match, it's still just, it should be just as entertaining to you as if it was a stand-up brawl. That's how I feel. That's how most educated MMA fans, I hope, would feel. But to each his own, I suppose. Just to reiterate, I think Jon Jones wins this fight more times than not. I don't see either of the fighters finishing each other, to tell you the truth. I feel it going the distance. Haven't seen a 5-round fight in a little while. I feel like this one will go the distance. My only question is Jon Jones' cardio. I've never seen him go more than 3 rounds. I don't even know if he's even been to a decision at this point. Most of his fights are finished pretty early. He's pretty devastating with those strikes, and he's even submitted Ryan Bader. So it'll be interesting to see how this fight turns out. Rashad Evans has a clear advantage just because he knows about Jon Jones. I feel like he matches up for this fight better than Mauricio Shogun Rua. I feel like I give him a better chance at winning this fight than Shogun Rua. It'll be interesting to see how the lines come out and how that works. But until then, I got to give Jon Jones the nod in this fight. He'll probably defend it. How long he stays with that belt, I couldn't tell you. There's some good fighters in that division, and when you're at that weight with that power, all it takes is one punch. It doesn't matter who you are. Anybody could get knocked out. I think people should slow down on the pedestalization of Jon Jones. Great fighter, don't get me wrong. Bright future in the UFC. Young guy, great work ethic, great personality, great ambassador. Definitely agree with all those things. But it's a little bit early. Let him prove himself. Let him defend that belt, or hopefully defend that belt, and we'll go from there. This is my first video. I just wanted to thank you guys for checking it out. Keep checking out the site. I write all these articles. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any comments, concerns, feel free to hit me up. Add me on Facebook if you want. Do what you got to do. Keep following the site, and let me know if you want me to add or take anything out. Sorry if I ranted a little long. I promise to make the next one not 8 minutes. And yeah, see you guys again soon.